Okay. Valeries death camp. Valeries death camp as I do the dishes. I just wanted to share some thoughts while I'm doing the dishes. Let's see, where was... I was just thinking, while I was in the bathroom, because, Valerie's on my case all day today. How does bullying somebody into being your dummy spare you any more embarrassment than it does asking them nicely? Welcome to care. I wonder how that works. Why would they think it's any better? Maybe you'll be able to hear me if I put it over here. Why would they think that's any better? Or how does that spare people any embarrassment? It's October 15th, 2023, the eve of my birthday, and they won't even get off my back for my birthday. In fact, it's always worse for my birthday, and it's been an absolutely atrocious weekend for being psychorazzi into suicide, basically, is what they're trying to get me to do, or kiss their asses, I suppose. So how's that any less? That's the question. How is that any less embarrassing? That's my question I'm pondering as I do dishes today. If I set some kind of question for myself, that usually stimulates some thought on the matter. I'd like to know how that's even less embarrassing than asking somebody nicely to be your dummy. People ask nicely by giving them gifts, doing favors for them, doing little favors. They do little favors in hopes that you'll do something really big for them. I get that a lot. I get that an extremely lot from people. My neighbors. I don't know why. I guess it's a vote to get somebody to talk to you. And so they'll bully you to no end to get your vote. If my vote is so important, why don't they just be nice? I told them a million times I can't play their game. It's not possible with my disability. It's like poker to me. I don't like poker. I don't like playing cards. I don't like gambling, so I don't do it. I know I can't win at it. Why would I do something I can't win at? And if somebody wants to practice with you, to spar with you, and to spar wits, why don't they just be nicer if they think you have the wit that they want to spar with? Why don't they just be nice to you? Otherwise, they're not going to get anything. I know I can't win at the game I play because all I have to do is disagree with them to get vandalized. Or just play their game. Just playing their game. Since their game is all about lying and dissing you with their lies, that's so hard to do, Somebody somewhere gives them votes for that. They get paid for that somehow. I guess because it creates so much horribleness in the world that people make so many mistakes that they buy too many things to compensate for the love they're not getting. And so the big business, pays them, gives them perks, they get cars, they get vehicles, they get all kinds of shit that way. I don't forget where I was. I don't like poker, and I don't like this game of lying. If I know I can't win at something because they resort to vandalism if you lie to them, why would I play that then? Why would I talk to those people? Because they resort to vandalism. They've done it to me over and over again. So why would I ever again attempt to speak with these people? They've literally fucked my entire yard. My entire yard looks like it lives somewhere on the fringes of the day after a nuclear holocaust. Just because I tried to talk to them honestly. Because I've talked to them honestly in the past, that's what started them vandalizing me. And just what I think. Catharting the truth to myself, that really started them vandalizing. I mean, they can't, just in my mind, they're listening as the psychorazzi. They're listening to me. After they get done abusing me and I come in the house and I go over it and do whatever I have to do to get it on, they started vandalizing me because of that. So why would I have any contact with these people at all? And that's the way that basically everybody that that is available to me is. And if they're not that way right away, which they often aren't, they are later. They turn into that thing. Which basically started in my family, with my family of origin. They mimic my brother Tom. My brother Tom and my sister Kathy. The leaders. The two people that lead the shit that's left in the family. The ones that aren't dead. That's who they follow, Kathy and Tommy. They use their bullying tactics and their pity party tactics and their web of lies and methods of torturing people into being their dummies. If I didn't, I couldn't live with myself if I did that. That doesn't mean that I'm weak. It just means that I believe in myself and I believe in what I come up with in ways of living. And I don't need to resort. Nobody needs to resort to bullying tactics. Nobody needs to do that. Everybody in my family has always been privileged. My mother took care of everybody, or was willing to take care of everybody with me. Some of them just went out and stole things instead of, they robbed drugstores and shit instead of taking money from my mother. That was their choice, and they chose to do it that way. Nobody forced them to. She took care of everybody but me. I'm the only one she starved. And she got everybody to treat me as bad as she did. And of course, they magnified it. My siblings magnified all of it and made it 100 times worse. And then my parents started doing what my siblings did. So they became 100 times worse than they used to be. I don't know how that's not embarrassing for somebody to treat a crippled little girl that way when she's really young. I don't know how anybody could even do that. It's way more than a game. It's literally a killing coliseum. It's like gladiators against Christians. You know, not any kind of Christian gladiator, of course. Just ruthless, killing mercenaries. Getting rid of people for gentrification. My own family. And they've always treated me this way. They've never treated me, since I could remember, they've never treated me any better. So I had no choice but to, truth was the only, I started out that way, and I just stayed that way, and I guess if I had been a millionaire early on, they would have believed that you could get through life without being an asshole. But my parents actually blocked me. I tried to invest. I tried to do a bunch of stuff when I was young. I asked if I could invest my paper girl money. I had $1,200. I was ready to put in IBM when I was 13 years old. When I was done, I quit the papers, but that's how much I accrued. And I knew I was going to do something stupid with it if I didn't invest it. I just wanted to throw it into IBM and leave it there, be done with it. And God, just wait. Just let me get through this horrible period in my life without blowing this money that I worked so hard for. And my parents wouldn't let me invest in it. My mother told me that she asked my sister Kathy if I should be allowed to invest this money in IBM or not. And Kathy said no. My eldest sister, Kathy. She's 8 years older than me. And supposedly, she said, no, I don't know if this is true or if my mother just wants me to hate Kathy because my mother wants me all to herself too. They all want me all to themselves. They all want to fuck me up the ass, and they all want that for themselves only. They're all trying to get me to be their dummy and to be the sole master of this dummy. But nonetheless, she wouldn't let me invest in IBM. She said I'm too much trouble at the end of the conversation. And here we are. Technology is the only reason why anybody has gotten anywhere over the last 20 years. After the first, actually 40 years, because technology led the bubble 20 to 30 years ago as well, and now it's leading the same bubble. And after I wasn't allowed to make that investment, my grandfather invested all his money into mostly tech stocks, a tech fund. So they took my advice. They wouldn't let me invest my measly $1,200, but they went and took my advice, and all my siblings got like all this money from their inheritance because of my advice. Yet I'm useless somehow. I'm only good for butt fucking. So I gave them advice again on Amazon in like 1990, at the latest 93. I think it was like 91. 93 maybe. Could have been as late as 95, I suppose, but I think it was around 93. And my brother just said, oh, I used to invest in penny stocks. I didn't do well on my own because I just been too sick and too bullied to make the right decisions. I just couldn't stay in it because I was so burnt out and butt fucked all the time by my neighbors, and my family's bullying and vandalism of my yard. It's like losing your child. It's like losing a child over and over again. They just keep killing trees in my yard. They just kept killing trees. So they butt fucked me out of my own success, my own good advice. Literally. So now, since I'm more stable now, and I've held on to my investments now without budging, this is about 2 years in a row now, because I've had enough food for, it's about 12 years now. So coming up on that 13-year-old time when I had that really fantastic advice to give to my family. It'll be about 13 years now that I've had adequate or better food in my diet consistently, because I had to figure out how to get this diet into my life that I wasn't allowed to get. That was the other part. One of the other many things I asked of my mother, one of the other necessities that I needed my parents' approval for, and that was I needed a better diet, and I asked for better food between the ages of like 13. Again, this was all around the age of 13. You're coming of age, and you should be asking for what you think you're going to need to be a responsible, rational adult, right? So I asked for better food. No. And I asked in different ways. I asked if, what if I buy my own protein milk? What if I buy it myself? No. If I use my own money? No. I asked her in all kinds of ways. I wanted to start with protein milk because an acquaintance of mine let me have a serving of hers when I was at her house, and I immediately felt a calming effect. I never felt that from food before, and I thought that was probably where I needed to start, because I had so much anxiety and depression already as a child from my hypoglycemia never being dealt with, and not being allowed to, like when I was about 11, there was stuff before that too. When I was 11, we had a chiropractor evaluation, and my cousin, who was my cousin, Dennis Miskovich, and he said I needed to go and get a blood test, and my parents would not let me go and get a blood test. So I never found out about my hypoglycemia, but I never could eat sugar. It always made me feel like shit, But what else was I going to? She wouldn't let me have the protein. I tried to eat other stuff, and it was the pollution. I even tried to eat. I couldn't even add an extra egg to my diet. So what I found out was the pollution was stopping me. Up here, finally, after 40 some more years, I finally realized that the pollution was stopping me from digesting. But it's the bullying too. I'm at a block now. I've got air cleaners all over my house. I use an aspirator when I go outside, whether I'm just shopping, no matter where I go in the car, and when I'm doing my gardening. I always have an aspirator on, almost always. Almost always. So there's nothing more I can do. I'm at a wall now that if I don't, I think I need a biodome, a totally pollution-free biodome. So that's what I want. I need to make enough money. I need to invest in a way that I can make enough money to build a biodome for myself, or I'm never going to have any life. And I will never try to socialize again with this body of mine with the maturity that I have of a 9-year-old. I can't develop my muscles, and I can't tolerate adults. They're playing their game and being the subject of their butt fucking constantly is just not tolerable. I have the body of a 9-year-old and the tolerance probably of a 2-year-old. The physical stamina or tolerance of a 2-year-old. Everything is horrible. So what do they, how do they think this bullying somebody saves them the embarrassment? See, but Valerie's working for a real estate company now. So I guess this is part of gentrification now for my family. She works for TJ Bencho at Bencho's Aurora Real Estate Management Services. And I guess they're trying to gentrify me out of my house. But that's not going to happen because when I'm done with this house, I'm going to destroy it because I will not let sadists, fascists, and neocentrists enjoy what they would not let me enjoy while I was alive and while I was here. So that's that. And that, as they say, is that. I will destroy this house one way or another. That I can guarantee you. No one's going to move into this house and enjoy it since they would not let me enjoy it. All anybody had to do was leave me alone and let me mature. Let me get done with my. Let me get done with convalescing. Let convalescing do something for me. Let the convalescing work for me, and let me mature into an adult. Let my body have enough rest and recuperation, just like your parents did for you. Your parents gave you the opportunity to grow and enjoy an adult body. That's all I'm asking for. Let me grow. I'm not going to go out there and kibitz with adults when I don't have an adult body. And I can't kibitz with children. And I'm not going to be a nanny when I don't have an adult body. I'm not going to do anything for anybody again without the body of an adult. I deserve 18 years of the same 18 years of proportional mothering as at least as much as my siblings had, and that was an awful lot. They had everything handed to them on a silver platter from my mother. She did absolutely everything for them. I just want proportional treatment. The ability, the leaving somebody alone until they can develop into an adult body isn't asking for anything. It's my right. It's in the Constitution, life, liberty, and it's not even. It's less than it's not even anything that's in the Constitution because the Constitution is on top of that. The Constitution is extra on top of that. Well, the life part, because I don't have a life. It's the life part. It's the first one. It's a life. I guarantee the world, you will not ever enjoy this house because I'm going to destroy it. Once I feel if I can't get out of here and hit my biodome the way I need to, and I have to die here, as soon as I know I'm dying, that's going to be it. This house will be history. So I hope you like building, because you're going to have to rebuild. Shit, the water line. Now you're not going to be able to hear me, so maybe I'm going to have to I'm going to talk anyway, maybe you can't hear me. Probably anyone's going to see this video. It's a private video. You're seeing it. It's not. You're seeing it, and I didn't give you the thing or something. I'm not going to play on it. resorts to murdering me to try to get my house from me. At least let's see why. And I think maybe I'm going to rename this "Why My Family May Be Planning to Murder Me." That's what I'm going to rename this. Right now I have it as Valeries death camp because they're using Valerie. This Valerie chick, she lived with my brother John for at least a couple of years. Even when I started asking about her after she left, he's like, Valerie says, I don't know what he meant. I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I'm looking for a friend. Johnny warned me. Like to see, she's not like any kind of friend, I guess. He never said why. I don't know what he meant. She must be a psychopath. I guess she's a psychopath. So, I know I'm never going to have anything to do with her. I guess my nephew TJ's using her to gentrify. Always looking for cheap real estate. That's what he said to me. I was always looking for cheap real estate. What was the last thing he said to me? One of the last things I said to him, he said to me, I'm always looking for cheap real estate. Or I'm always looking for how much, I can't remember exactly how he put it, but maybe he just said, I'm always looking for property. We all know what that means, right? Who doesn't want a good deal? Who doesn't want a good deal? Begs the question, how does it save them any embarrassment? How does butt fucking somebody into being your dummy? Just needing a dummy is an embarrassment. I abhor people that need dummies. It's totally anti-American. It's totally anti-American. I wish these people would go back to Russia, in the Middle East, and Eastern Europe, and everywhere they came from, because they do not belong here. And the rich people are just letting them in because they all want slaves. And these are the people, these are the dummies that will be your slave. We're the slaves 100 years ago. These are the dummies that will do anything now for the millionaires in big business. They'll do anything. They kill their own family members. The psychorazzi killed my brother Joe, caused his gun accident, caused my cousin Ricky's car accident. I'm 99.9% sure of it. Psychorazzi, another cousin, into trying to commit suicide though he tried to get out of it but fell and hit his head, and his death resulted from a fall, hitting his head, trying to get out of it. He thought he was maybe trying to wake himself up going into the shower after he'd taken some pills. I I think they psychorazzi him into using drugs constantly. I got out of drugs, so I saved myself. I never wanted to be in the drug environment to begin with. Yeah, my mother wouldn't let me eat, so I had to find a way of talking and communicating with people. And drinking was only one of those ways, and it also fulfilled a calorie deficit that I needed. But I couldn't get any more in. I'd get like all stuffed up and bloated, and you keep eating carbohydrates. It just makes you more nervous anyway. So at least when I drank, there was something different besides just gas paying. There's a different element to it. And of course, there's the social element to it that you don't have with eating and being the dolly. I have a video about where I'm mimicking that dolly on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I say, nobody likes a dolly that farts. School was a total nightmare. I loved my education. In school, like after about 10 o'clock, and sometimes it would start as early as 10 o'clock. Sometimes it wouldn't start till after lunch, but I would get so gassed out and I couldn't move my bowels. I just had gas all afternoon. I mean, this is grades 1 through 12. 12 freaking years, and kindergarten too. It's a virtual death camp back then. Grades 1 through 12, that gas alone all day, every day, and all afternoon at the very least. Sometimes it would start in the morning, like by 10 or 11. It was horrible. That's why I'm not publishing this, because I don't even enjoy it too much. To say this will just enjoy this shit, so I'm not publishing it. I'm just having it there in case I do have to go in front of a judge someday or something. Maybe they're going to come after me physically. And I need to have something ready, because I don't want to be modeling for my history in front of the judge. So what do you think out there? Somebody could probably hear me, if only it's gone. Why do you think just the money is? Is it just the gentrification? Is that why? It's an embarrassment to somebody to bully a poor little lady with the body of a 9-year-old. I'm like 94 pounds now. That for me is 20 pounds underweight, at least. I think I should weigh about 130 for what the world throws at me. I would have kept my weight at a strapping 130 at the very least, 135 if I could. That's how much my brother Joe weighed when he died. He was really thin. But for a guy, that's low, but he was like about 130, 135. I mean, that's what I need to be. That's what I need to be. The bullying that I'm faced with, I needed to be. And I always wanted, to work out. I wanted to start working out by the time I was 9. But I never felt good enough to. And I have worked out anyway, even though I I was never able to develop muscle at all. All I was able to do was trim my fat and look lean. I used to run. So I looked lean, but I never built muscle. I trimmed it. So it's just, there's no fat on it. So you see the muscle. But it's not anything that I wasn't born with. There might be a limited spot. I noticed that after I lost my last job and I started working on with weights for the first time, I noticed that my shoulders used to be like more of an angle, and I noticed that my shoulder, I might have got something in here. I think that's the only spot that I got some muscle in. Maybe unless it's just swelling. Who the heck knows? But that was the only spot I noticed that changed on me physically. Besides my nose. My nose seemed to get more cut too. I lost fat on my nose. So if you have one of those noses that you don't like that looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid, lifting weights and having a whole regime. I was doing it all. I was lifting weights, doing the calisthenics, and I couldn't run. I was already unable to run by then because this was like 1990. I think 6 or 7. I started working out 7. I think 1997. I started working out with weights. So I was doing all that, and plus I had a massage business, and I was doing massage. So I was doing the weights in between. And as I lost massage business, because that didn't last long, they come in, they try to get laid, and then you don't see most of them again. They don't keep coming back. If you don't, give them a blowjob or something, so they don't keep coming back. So as I lost customers, I started exercising more, and then my body crashed in '98. I started getting worse, weaker from the exercise because I couldn't eat enough. And then I just totally crashed. But I trimmed things down. And the trimming that I did always comes back, because I tried to gain weight. And I was up to 140 pounds like around 10 years ago or something. 2006, 2007. Very more psychorazzi. Well, I'm trying to psychorazzi me to death. I was up to 140 pounds because I went because my sister Linda was always heavier, and she had muscle. She was able to build muscle. So I was hoping that just carrying the extra weight around would let me build muscle, and it didn't work. So all it did was start my vascular degeneration. It started busting vessels in the extra weight. Started bursting blood vessels in my feet and my legs. So I lost all that weight. And when you lose all that weight, you've already trimmed yourself previously. The same form comes back as when you trimmed it before, as long as you get the fat off. So I haven't worked out anywhere near what I did those 2 years, but I always come back to the same level of trim. And my nose, gets better when I gain weight, that looks pudgier. So everything comes back. The shoulders never went down, even though I lost a lot of weight. I'm down to 90 some pounds now. The shoulders keep that. I think they got a little bit of extra muscle there. Maybe that was my massage clients prayed for that. They never bargaining for a blowjob. Trying to get a blowjob out of me. I don't do blowjobs, never did, never. I did straight massage, and I did some other things, some sensual stuff, but I'm not going to talk about that because it's none of anybody's business. I did some legal sensual stuff, and so naturally they want the whole kit and caboodle. That's not necessary. That's not necessary for
men to do that to women, to put them in that position. Not a bit. I don't believe in that. If you're willing to work a normal job, they should let you work a normal job. There should be something for people that have the physical stamina of a 9-year-old who wants to work, who doesn't want to be bullied by her family, into having to do everything their way. I always had my own mind. I was a civil rights advocate since I was 6 years old, since I could think. I couldn't stand seeing them people tortured. Yet my brothers were always torturing me. And I still fought for civil rights. Even I couldn't even fight for myself yet. And I argued with my 5 brothers over the black and white shit, racism. And they hated me for it. And they still do to this day. They act like I'm the cause of their problems, when really, I fought for affirmative action and all that stuff. I stood my ground. I never changed my position on it. That people have the right to life, liberty, and happiness. They have to have work to be able to create, to get out of the slums and have something. And that's another way I helped fuel the bubbles of the 90s through today's by fighting for civil rights, because it's the black people that helped create these bigger bubbles. Without the black people being able to work, we wouldn't have even had these bubbles. They would have just sank to lower depths, like they are in Russia, in the Middle East. We would have already been like that. We wouldn't have had these bubbles. So my family, they're all in, many of them are in real estate, this real estate management, and renting, low-income housing renting, and they make millions on this, yet still I'm the villain, even though it's my hard work and me sticking to my guns on civil rights, and that my investment in technology, and that also stimulated the economy, all my basic instincts, and led to their millions, and somehow I'm the fucking villain. And I'm the only one that didn't become richer, or at least secure. There might be one sister that's not a millionaire. There might be one sister and one brother that aren't millionaires. But I think the sister is, and the brother isn't yet, but he will be. It probably will be. I think it probably is. I think they're all millionaires now. And certainly the 3 top ones. The 3 biggest bullies in the family. The 3 smartest, the other 3 of the smartest ones. They're all smart. They're all intelligent. I'm the only one that's slow because of a disability, and it's because of a disability. So, why do they think it's any less embarrassing for them? Because they're being paid to go through the embarrassment. I can't come up with any other reason than greed and laziness. They're too lazy to wait for things, like I have always done. I'm waiting for something to happen with my investments. I'm not going out and bullying people, and I'm not even trying to sell what I'm investing in. I don't barrage people with all kinds of crap, and I will continue to be the same person I always was. And I think I'm going to end my stream with that. There is no other reason other than greed and laziness. The laziness is just a part of the greed, it's the laziness that leads to the greed, because they don't want to wait. They don't want to bear the brunt of their position and living in whatever neighborhood they're in until their investments pay off, or they get some, or they work, or they learn something well enough to share it with the world that's going to pay off. And that's one way I differ between me and everybody I know and everybody that I have access to that hasn't left this horrible death camp that Pittsburgh and Stowe Township and McKees Rocks have made for me, and I'm sure there's other people out there. I don't know who they are because they all seem to side with the pigs in the world, the biggest bullies, and there's nothing I can do to change that. So, bye now. I hope you enjoyed the stream. They won't let me end it. They're going to make me go walk over to my computer and plug in my